Welcome back, everyone. It's another episode of the regular FireStorm podcast. I know we don't do those very much nowadays, but hey, it's one right now. You're hearing it. And today we're doing
glorious voices.
We're following through on an idea I had a while back on doing some kind of like a game, sort of. But it's like we're gonna do 60-second anime reviews. So we're gonna basically I don't know how significant the delay is, but on Discord, but we should probably time ourselves so there's no like delay on that. But we can time it however. But basically, we're gonna be put on the spot with a bunch of different animes and review them in 60 seconds, preferably without spoilers. But what happens basically. So that's how this is gonna go.
Yeah, this is essentially to cover our bases with a few anime that we both really, really enjoy, but like probably feel like they don't need a full on. Well, unless there's some you purposely don't like that you put on your list. Is that a thing?
No, I didn't. I just put a bunch of recent ones. Not all of them I significantly enjoy. They're just ones I remember recently.
Fair enough. It's also something to do with like, well, could we do a full episode on these anime, or should we just kind of condense it and talk about them now? Because we have talked about anime in the past. We have done an episode based on anime, but we kind of skimmed over them. And this, even though it's 60-second anime reviews, we're going to talk a little bit more about these anime that we enjoy. And there might be a sequel depending on how long this goes for. So yeah, stay tuned, subscribe to us and everything like that, and let us know about what some of your favorite anime are. If we mention one of your favorite anime, let us know. And,
definitely. If you have any thoughts on the anime we mentioned, we're gonna go through a lot, so leave them in the comments or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
So whatever the fuck. Okay, so since I kind of came up with this idea, I know how I want to approach this, and Trent doesn't. So feel free. I'm gonna ask you to just go ahead and pick anyone from my list. I don't care which one. I have no preference, but just pick one, and I'll start from there.
All right. Violet Evergarden.
Violet Evergarden? Good choice. It's a good way to start. All right, I'm going to put on a timer. Okay, and then we'll count down. This one's admittedly, I only like half paid attention to some of this, but I'm going to do my best. All right. 3, 2, 1, start. So Violet Evergarden is about this girl who was trained from very young to be like a war soldier, basically a weapon. And so she doesn't really have any emotions. Violet Evergarden is the story of a girl who was raised to be a weapon, an emotionless killer. It's the story of her learning how to love. And it's a beautiful story. It's extremely well written, and everything that Violet does as a character makes sense in her progression throughout the story. Everything contributes to the end goal of learning how to have emotions again, and the writing and visuals are all stunning and beautiful and really well done. And all the characters add to this story as well. Doesn't feel like anything's out of place or forced. It's just overall an incredible experience. And if you haven't watched it, you absolutely should, because you will cry, and it's just fucking awesome. I stopped before a minute, but that's basically it. It's fucking awesome. There you go.
Nice. All right.
That was more like 55 seconds, but that's fine.
There we go. All right. Yeah. Fair enough. I understand the idea you're going for. All right.
Yes.
Fair enough. Yeah. Violet Evergarden, I was only able to watch like 5 episodes. I got about 5 episodes in because I remember like where Violet was learning how to write and some other stuff. Like I remember getting up to there, and then I'm not entirely sure why I just haven't continued it since then. But I do know that the visuals are gorgeous and it looks like a really, really well made show. Netflix exclusive, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, no, it looks phenomenal. So I definitely
that was one thing I forgot to mention, is that she kind of, the way she does this is like she basically becomes, I'm not sure, I don't remember the exact name they called it, but it was a job where she writes letters for people, because this is like a world or a time in whatever this is where most people don't really know, like it's common for people to not know how to write. So she learns how to write and basically goes around and converts people's feelings into writing, which helps her understand emotions and become empathetic and start to sympathize with people. It's really beautifully done. And like, I'm not much for all wishy-washy emotion bullshit. I'm, you know, I watch anime for titties and fight scenes, but like, I'm that guy. But Violet Evergarden is fucking... That was one of those times where I just kind of, at the very end, I was like, you know, when an anime just fucking hits you so hard that you, at the very end, you like stand back and you like basically zone out for like 15 minutes thinking about the experience. Yeah. That was Violet Evergarden. That was it. Like, it was so fucking good. So,
all right,
it's one of the few anime on my little My Anime List account, which is very useful, by the way. I've been using it over like the past half a year or so to keep track of everything that I've watched, because I've basically like been like, I'm gonna get through my gigantic anime watch list, so this is a good way for me to keep track of it all. It's one of like 2 different shows that has a 10, that I rated a 10.
Wow.
On My Anime List, yeah. So
nice.
The other one was Parasite, for those of you wondering.
Damn.
Yeah,
I think
it's gorgeous.
This show wasn't on my list, but I think the only one I've given a 10 so far is like Death Note. There might be some others, but yeah, that's one of the few I only recall giving a 10. Maybe Code Geass, but I don't know. But all right, yeah, fair enough. That's a good sell for Violet Evergarden. I'm like, yes. I 100% want to finish it, and also because there's the movie as well.
I didn't even know there was a movie. Shit.
Yeah, there's Violet.
I figured it was just gonna end, because like it felt like when it ended, that was a good point for it to end.
It was either an OVA or a movie, but I'm pretty sure it was a movie because they.
I do remember there being like another thing related to Violet Evergarden. I didn't watch it though.
Yeah.
But it was on Netflix when I saw it. But yeah.
All right, nice. Okay, cool. Now that I understand the format, I think I can handle this. Okay. I remember most of the shows on my list. Go ahead and choose one of mine.
Okay. I'm going to drastically change the tone of how this is going. Rosario plus vampire.
You fool.
Yep. Right. You have 60 seconds.
Okay, let me check the timer on. I'm using an iPhone timer, so you'll hear it. All right, I should nail this.
All right. Go for it.
3, 2, 1. All right, so humans and monsters don't usually live together in this world. However, this one student, Skune, accidentally happens upon an entry form that allows him to get entry to a monster school. He goes because he's a fucking loser everywhere else, and he is just, I don't know, he's just there hiding amongst other monsters who are pretending to be humans because they have human forms, and then he meets a whole harem of women, main one being Mocha Akashia, who has 2 forms when she removes the Rosario around her neck. Pink-haired, cute chick, silver-haired, awesome ass-kicking chick. Watch the adventures of the Skune Harem Club, going around doing other wacky adventures and all that, and then eventually get into the plot, which is involving history of vampires and a bunch of other stuff, and the school as well. And yeah, funny, cute, hot, and season 2 fucking sucks.
Wow. That wasn't what I mean.
There
you know go. What? That sounds like my kind of show.
There you go. There's my I'll change. I
didn't even hear it.
I'm gonna use that alarm instead. The generic Apple ringtone. But there you go. Oh fuck. But there you go.
I mean, you know what? You could have just said harem, and I would have been sold. I admittedly have such like harem shows. At this point I don't even watch them because I like self-insert whatever, like oh, I'm so lonely, oh, I'm gonna self-project myself onto this guy who gets a fuck ton of girls. It's more just me just enjoying watching trashy shows.
Yeah, no,
that's what it is at this point.
It is, yeah, the epitome of trashy show. Like I mentioned this when we did, I think we were either talking about anime or we were talking about other stuff. I forgot where I mentioned it, but literally the transition cards, like for like, because the original Japanese, when these shows air on Japanese television, they need transition cards to go into adverts because, you know, classic television. The transition cards that they left in for the DVD version are literally just panty shots.
Nice.
They're just upskirt shots of the chicks' butts, like just random other chicks' butts, and it's just like,
all right,
fair enough. So it's.
I mean, yeah, I won't complain.
I mean, like this was
questionable decision, but I won't complain.
This was the first, like technically the first anime like that I watched. Like I don't know why. Like I think I was kind of. I think I remember why I watched it is because like I wanted to watch something to do with vampires because I was like I really like the idea of like, oh, cool vampires, and then this one just
my food. Okay, continue.
Your food's already here.
Yeah.
Right, awesome.
Well, we spent like fucking 20. We'll keep talking.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to watch something involving vampires, and then this one at the time was the most recent. So me and my friend watched it. And we thought at the time it was just funny, but yeah, I've come to realize years later, especially season 2, like how trash it is. I've read all of the manga, and obviously, puts glasses on face. The manga is better, but whoa, hot take.
Holy shit,
hot take that nearly every fan of Rosario
you fucking hipster over here.
I know, right? Jesus, but the show itself, season 1, it had a lot of elements of the manga. It had a lot of elements of the original story that it was going for, and it was quite good. Season 2, it just became a sitcom, and not a good sitcom. So, so that's unfortunate. It's still got your sexy harem antics, but less of the actual story than you would expect from a harem show. Like a harem show that does Rosario Vampire much better is like Trinity 7. It balances plot and harem, like, not the best, but still done much better than Rosario Vampire. But,
if I knew any of the rules of the world of Trinity 7, I feel like I think I would think a lot more highly of it.
Exactly,
but it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So,
but it's okay, because the girls are hot.
Yeah, exactly. That's and you know what? Say the same thing about the Rosario Vampire anime. It's okay because the girls are hot. There you go.
Let's go. Okay, I think my food is here. I'm gonna go check.
Go get your food.
Be right back.
Yep. All right. And yeah, so it's not. I'm assuming just from that scream of agony. This Rosario Vampire was the first ever anime I freaking watched. It was probably a mistake watching that one first. It's probably what got me into harem shows as well. But, because anyone that knows Rosario Vampire would know how far it deviates from the plot of the manga. And it is a bit of a shame that it deviates so far. But I mean, like, what are you going to do? It's the show... This is the show now. The manga's complete. A lot of people are like hampering on for like a new version of the anime that follows the manga plot, but it's probably never going to happen. Or a season 3, but that's probably never going to happen. Like I think Rosario Vampire in all its glory, like in everything about it, I think it's just done. So there's no way for it to continue unless they decide to remake it, but that's highly unlikely. Done? I was talking about how like. The Rosario Vampire manga ended like 5 years ago, and there's still like a large contingent, like actually finished. Like, oh my god, a conclusive ending! Wow. But like that coupled with how bad season 2 of the anime did, people want like a remake of the anime following the manga plot. But I don't. It's highly unlikely that'll ever happen. So it's kind of like set in stone that Rosario Vampire in its entirety is finished, which. You know, for a lot of anime and a lot of shows and a lot of manga that I read, it's difficult to find a well-built show that's finished. And it's just like, wow, this thing's actually done. It's conclusive. It's over. So it should probably remain like that, if anything.
Fair.
All right. Are you ready for the next choice?
Yes. Go for it. Hit me.
All right. I'm curious about this because we mentioned it briefly before, Let's go for
Yes.
Angel Beats.
Angel Beats. Okay. I have feelings about this one.
That should just be the whole review. I have feelings.
I have feelings about this show.
I have feelings.
Okay.
Whoa.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so this was obviously the first work by the same guy who did Charlotte and Dea Became a God. It's very evident from early on that because it starts off as kind of like a sitcom thing, but it's not even as well organized or well written as the two works that he did that would come after. It's disorganized. It's completely baffling how they tell this story, and if you can even call it a story, it just throws you into these random situations that really don't make any sense, and it like establishes villains and heroes, and neither one. It's all like it's not actually. The lines are blurred. There's no real, clear bad guy or good guy, and there never really is throughout the story. The writing is just weird. The story progression makes zero sense. Frankly, by the very end, they were all just dying or some shit, and I was like, I don't give a shit. I just don't care. And, but the characters are fairly good. There's some pretty funny moments, and, other than that, there's not really much value to Angel Beats. It's just kind of there. There's my timer.
I'm jamming out to that beat, that fat iPhone beat.
There you go.
Alright, yeah, there you go. That's
but yeah, enough. Angel Beats, right? It's like I the whole time I was so confused because it didn't make any sense to me. I didn't establish anything, but basically it starts off in this world. It's like the underworld where some people go, certain people go after they die because there's a lingering regret or something from their living life that they haven't, solved or, absolved themselves of. So they have to figure that out in there. And once they figure that out and accept themselves, they die for realsies. And it just, there was no progression of the story. Immediately we were in the first episode, the first minute or something, we learn there's this bitch called Angel. Oh, she's bad. She will probably kill us, maybe, but actually we're not really sure. We just assume she's gonna kill us because we think she maybe did that once or twice, but we actually have no proof of that. That's the entire show. It's fucking bullshit like that is just vague as maybe this happened, maybe this happened, and we're just guessing, but now we're gonna go, and then randomly in episode 5 all of a sudden they're in class and there's fucking people are being shot into the ceiling. It makes no sense. It's fucking stupid. It's supposed, so many people like Angel Beats. I'm I don't see it. Where in a story, in an anime, I need to start off, maybe this is because I have a horrible attention span and I don't pay attention to jack, but if I don't get a progression, if there's no end goal, or at least not some vague end goal, I'm not gonna fucking give a shit. And even the worst harem anime have some kind of end goal. And so I'm okay, so this is all a progression or developing characters or whatever, but even by the end you only have a vague sense of who the characters really are. Even the main characters, the ones that end up mattering quote unquote in the end, it's bleh. I do not care. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, I remember watching the first 2 episodes of it and just feeling because it's something lost and kind of confused.
Yes, that's the feeling of the entire show.
Yeah, and usually
that's the only thing you feel.
And usually, if a show gives me that feeling, there's also the feeling of wanting to figure out what happens because I'm so lost.
Not
and
there in Angel Beats.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't feel that with Angel Beats. I was just I'm gonna go. I kind of don't want to.
Some tells me I shouldn't be here.
Yeah. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. I'm curious about this one. So, Seraph of the End is the one I want you to do next.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Okay, let me pull up my fucking, okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, coronavirus before coronavirus actually happens. It is essentially a Rosario vampire without the harem aspect, but done even better. So there was a giant virus that wiped out fucking most of humanity, and a lot of humanity had to go underground. And because of the virus happened, vampires rose up from the underground and they took over the world, essentially. There's a contingent of humans that are fighting back against the vampires with these fucking special weapons that are linked to, like, demons or whatever, like demon weapons. So they use those to fight back against the vampires. There is literally just a giant fucking war. This one guy, I forgot his name, the main character, who's got, like, a bunch of kids that are his family. They all die except for one. You see that really early on, so it doesn't really fucking matter. And his only other friend, that is his best friend, become a vampire to survive. And then there's like a giant fucking conflict between him and his best friend. They might be gay, who knows? But it is done so much more better, and it's actually much more of a compelling vampire show than anything else on this fucking list.
Yo, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Really,
yeah, because
really...
that's been on my list for a while.
Yeah, I really fucking like Sarah for the End, and it. Again, it's one of those shows that we don't know where it's going at the minute. The first 2 seasons of the anime were kind of like both approved simultaneously. So like season 2 comes out like fuck all time after season 1 finishes, and I watched both the sub and the dub, and I actually prefer the dub. It's quite amusing. It is labeled under the genre of dark fantasy, so there are a lot of there are a few dark motifs, but it's still funny enough to outweigh that. It is one of those, oh, this plot is super serious. You have to take this super seriously, and if you don't take it super seriously, you're gonna just be like, you're not gonna give a fuck. Like, I'm not saying like you don't have to take it super seriously, but if you're there like for a different reason other than a good story, then you're not gonna really enjoy it. If you're there for tits, you're not gonna see tits. If you're if you want to see a good show, then I definitely recommend Sarah for the End. And it is currently, at the time of recording, the only other show in which I have all of the manga. Which, in all honesty, the manga and anime, up to the point where the anime is at, are quite equal, quite hand in hand.
Nice.
It covers a lot of the same grounds. The story is still good overall, and there are parts where like they hint at certain plot points, and it's not revealed till a bit later on, so you are left hanging a little bit, and you got to try and figure it out. But a lot of Sarah for the End, like I found out, like, because Sarah for the End, I just thought, oh, serious, cool story, I like this. But I found out that Sarah for the End is really popular amongst women, purely because the 2 main characters are best mates, and they might be gay, but let's kind of like just wear.
Well, if there's no titties, also that's probably another reason.
No, but there are
Obviously.
women. There are women
course.
in the show, and one of them has a massive fucking scythe and is really cool. I forgot her name. And I think I don't know, she's kind of the main chick there. Then again, in saying that, there are a lot of male characters in this show as well. But
there you go.
No, Sarah for the End is actually just, it's a bit of a dark story, but it's also really fucking good. And
nice.
Yeah, I definitely would recommend that out of anything else.
Yeah,
on
I've
this
been
list.
meaning to. I've definitely been meaning. I think it's like on. I don't remember which service it's on, but I have it on my list to watch, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I am going to watch it. It's just when.
Nice. Yeah, definitely recommend
Oh
it.
shit! I forgot there was a new episode of the fucking trash show today. I'll watch it later.
Yeah, no, I just want to quickly mention, between all the content I have so much hours of content that I'm behind on. Like, as I watch Cultaholics podcast, Trash Tastes podcast, and then like our own podcast for clips, and between that's like 6 hours of content. Like, I can't watch all of this. It's just like fucking hell. Yeah, I have.
I don't watch anything. I just watch like anime now. I don't even watch much content on YouTube.
That is fair. I should probably do that. Get out of the whole YouTube rabbit hole.
Yeah, because I mean, like fucking I'm kind of out of wrestling at the minute, just because like I don't know, I just haven't been into it for a while. Like I still keep up with it, but I just
COVID,
like haven't.
COVID definitely made a lot of people lose interest in wrestling.
Yeah, like I'm kind of like not as into it as I used to be, just as a whole, really. I'll definitely keep up with it. It's just like not super important to me. But I am gonna watch Takeover's on Sunday. I'm gonna watch
Vengeance Day. Whoa.
Yeah. But fucking. So that's why I don't really watch. I'm much Cultaholic stuff. I still watch a WTF every so often, just because I think Ross is hilarious. But and then I don't watch Trash Taste very often unless I'm like in the car driving forever, because I can't be asked.
Yeah,
like,
fair enough.
They're really cool. Like I love the Trash Taste guys. Like they're great, but I watch enough anime by myself.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
All right,
let's go on to the next show. Now,
give me another one.
I'm going to give you one that even I don't fucking know about, so I'm going to hear about it now.
Okay.
Iwa-kakeru.
Iwa-kakeru. Okay, so that is... You do know about it, actually. It's the sports climbing girls.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yep. So you do know about this one.
Fair enough. All right.
So I'm gonna review this. I actually quite enjoyed this one. So I'm gonna review it. If I can just get this fucking hair out of my face. There we go. Okay. Timer. All right. 3, 2, 1. Go. So imagine this girl who was fucking raised on playing video games. She's basically an otaku, but in going into high school, she finds a new passion in the form of rock climbing, and it's a way that she can use her puzzle skills. She's actually a puzzle gaming champion, like fucking Candy Crush or something. She uses her skills in puzzling and seeing the entire board to basically calculate her way up a rock wall. That's the whole idea. And she has there's 3 other girls who are on the rock climbing team with her. They're all cute. But there's the fan service is a little it's definitely on the nose, but it's really, the whole show as a concept is really quite cute and charming, and the characters are cute and charming. And the writing is very solid overall. The progression makes sense. It's just the ending, I think, was a little rushed. Didn't really make sense to me, but the whole progression makes sense. The characters are great. The writing was solid. And I never thought I would care about hot chicks climbing walls, but here I am.
Nice.
But yeah, that was I didn't let the timer hit. But yeah, it's even like, it's basically like whatever the opposite of a shonen is, because it's a girl instead. That's what it is. It's literally a shonen sports thing. That's what it's very cute. There's like a lot of moments where they kind of like, it's supposed to be over dramatic. It's a sports anime, but like they basically like make the rock wall look like a puzzle game board or whatever. Like it's very cute, and fucking there's like rivals and shit. Like each main girl has their own rivals and stuff. There's like a top of the leaderboards, like the best climbing girls in the country or whatever. Like it's all set up really well. Like it's not the greatest fucking sports anime you're gonna watch, but for what it is, it's very cute and pretty damn well done. So I have nothing to complain about, actually, except for the ending. The ending was like super rushed. To elaborate on the ending, it was basically like it was the moment where our main heroine beats the odds and overcomes the competition, like in the form of like the best climbing girl in the country, but fucking like it's just we don't actually see it, and for 2, it's like right at the very moment where she's supposed to be like hits the bell at the top, it skips to the credits.
Right.
Yeah, it like builds up that tension, and then it's just like we see the rankings, like the leaderboard for the competition they all participated in, and it just says main heroine at the top, number 1. That's all. Oh. Yeah, so that really sucked, but other than that, if you can get over that, like, I mean, you could kind of imagine in your head what it looked like. It's...
Yeah,
but, the thing, it is a letdown.
The thing that you said, the thing you said that interests me is that I always love little like quirks of characters that are able to adapt one thing into another, and like using like a video game analytics to fucking analyze a a climbing wall and figure out the best strategy to get to the top.
Yes.
Using that. That does sound pretty intriguing. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's the idea. But obviously, since she's an otaku, she has to go through like a lot of physical training. So there's parts like there's like montages dedicated to that and stuff. But she's very cute, very cute. I forget her name. It starts with an H.
There's gonna be a lot of that in this.
Yes.
Speaking of totally physical training, me and 3 mates have all joined a gym together.
Yo,
so
that's
we're getting
epic.
back into the gym. We're getting back into the gym. Yeah.
Nice.
There we go.
I just got charged an annual fee for the gym I'm joining, I've joined. Got charged the annual fee. I'm stuck there now.
I've signed my life away. I cannot leave.
Yeehaw. But yeah, that's fun. All right. I have no. Actually, tell me about Asian demi-human.
A Jin demi-human.
A Jin, whatever the fuck.
A Jin demi-human.
Quesadilla.
Fuck you and your quesadillas. Alright. Okay.
DoorDash.
3, 2, 1, go. Alright, in this world, it's essentially a normal world, but there are these things called a Jin, which is like a special form of immortality that some humans can have. And they're kind of looked down upon. They're called black ghosts, like in a sense as well. It's kind of looked down upon the normal humans because a Jin, like people with this power, are taken by scientists and studied on because they want to discover immortality or some shit. The main character has basically discovered he has a Jin, so he cannot die. However, he's being tracked down by 2 organizations, one of them that wants to quote-unquote protect these people, and the other one that wants to study him. And he's basically got to go in between the both of them, try and figure out how to survive, and work with other people that have this power that are actually not a corrupt society of dickheads to try and survive this world, and try and make the world a better place for people with a Jin. So, yeah, there's a lot of really interesting, compelling characters, and it's 3D as well, so you got to be able to get past the 3D part. But it's really good, really fun, and really cool.
Oh yeah. Sounds poggers, because it's on Netflix, right?
Yes, it is another Netflix original, exclusive, I don't know. It first premiered on Netflix.
Yeah.
I believe it has 2 seasons, and it wraps up... It's not at all rushed. The thing I like about a Jin is that it is... Everything's paced. Like, most things are paced very well. Like it's very like quick to jump to the whole. Holy fuck! This guy has a Jin or a black ghost. I forgot which ones they're actually called. But it's just like, holy shit! This guy has one. And then it hits you with the plot twist fairly well because there's, like I said, there's like the actual government that want to study these people because they want to essentially acquire whatever part of the power of having a black ghost that gives you immortality. I didn't mention this, but essentially the black ghost is like another personality, like another thing that works with its human and like protects them, and the humans can summon the ghosts to fight for them.
Okay.
Which is quite pog, but
very pog.
Yeah, and yeah, the main character has a special version of one. I'm not going to really say what that is because it will spoil some stuff. But, yeah, so... But it honestly surprised me. I went into it not expecting a lot because, literally, this is the only reason I went into it. Little Karibo voices one of the characters in a suit. So I was just like, oh, Martin's voicing a character in an actual proper, like, show that, like, on Netflix. That's awesome. I'm going to watch it. And then the entire show fucking kept me hooked, and I was like, "Wow, this is cool." So yeah, I stuck around and watched it all. And
hell yeah,
yeah. So there you go. I really like a Jin demi-human, and again, I know you probably got a giant fucking list of shows to watch, but yeah,
it's fucking huge. Let me tell you what. But yeah, it is on my Netflix list. So
nice.
Most of the shit that I have that you've told me to watch, I've kept a note of for later.
I will be completely honest, a lot of the things you've told me about, I have not. The only thing I do want to watch,
yeah,
one of the ones I do want to watch, which I'll make you talk about next, is Rent-A-Girlfriend.
Oh, good.
I do want to watch that. It looks like a lot of fun.
Well, you could say that. I have feelings, but well, you know, it's probably feelings that are shared amongst many people, so they're probably
yeah.
All right, I got a burp.
How's your quesadilla?
In my belly. 3, 2, 1, go. So if you wanted a show that is basically driven by waifus, this is it. There's literally no other appeal to this show, especially in season 1, other than the women. That's literally the entire appeal. Aside from maybe the writing is quite witty and funny, but aside from that, literally this entire anime is Mizuhara. That's literally it. The brown-haired chick, the brunette, that's the entire show. But the main problem is this guy who's, I think he's 20. He's basically in college and his love life sucks ass and he jerks off every night. It's pretty standard stuff, but he eventually uses the Rent-A-Girlfriend service and rents out Mizuhara, and shit happens. Shit goes down, and it escalates from there in a very slice-of-life way. It's quite charming in certain ways, but Kazuya, I believe his name is, the main character, is an absolute trashy person, and I hate him. Especially as of right now. But anyway, Mizuhara. There we go.
Anyway, Mizuhara.
That's literally, okay, Rent-A-Girlfriend has some of the best, like, especially if you want to if you're looking at trashy, harem, slice of life shows. Rent-A-Girlfriend is some of the best and well-paced writing, especially dialogue writing, among those shows. And it's very modern in that way. But
isn't the whole thing about it is that you think that these girls are fucking amazing when it's only because of the rental service they put on that
Correct. Act. That's their job. They're supposed to act as your girlfriend for X amount of time. So, but eventually, obviously very early on you learn Kazuya is eventually, his little solo apartment is actually right next door to Mizuhara's. So that's the whole gag. So they learn about the real side of each other, essentially, after that first rent date. And, it doesn't matter. Like, the thing is, Mizuhara isn't just some fucking, girlfriend act that she puts on. She's actually real fucking waifu material. Like, if you heard Garnt talk about her in one of his videos, you'll know, like, she is literally the top class. Like, she is the waifu among waifus. She's literally top of the fucking chart. It doesn't get better than her. Like,
I do remember Gaunt going on a little rant about how great she is. So,
correct. It doesn't matter. Like, even aside from her little act that she puts on, she's actually fucking awesome. Like, she's real, she's down to earth, and Kazuya just feels like an absolute piece of trash, inconsiderate, insensitive asshole in comparison to literally everyone else. It's fucking terrible. Apparently he gets better later in the manga. We'll have to see about that. It is getting a season 2, obviously, because it did really well whenever the first season aired was. The anime did really well, but Kazuya is just the fucking worst. But as far as slice of life stuff goes, this one was fairly entertaining. The events, the series of events sequence pretty much makes sense. I feel like they're giving the chicks give Kazuya too much credit by falling in love with him over time, slowly. Obviously most of them have yet to accept that, but it's it's a slice of life. It's gonna take goddamn ages. So, I mean, it's fun on the surface, but, like, even, like, on the surface, it's easy to be like, hey, Kazuya's a fucking asshole. A literal trash human being. Like, there's nothing wrong with jacking off every night, okay? Because if there was, I'd be in trouble. But it's, like, it's not even that. It's just, like, I know he's supposed to be the insensitive guy. Like, he's supposed to start off as a guy whose love life is actually trash. And you're like, he's not supposed to be super smooth with the ladies right off the bat. I get it, but like, there's a point where, like, it's just not enjoyable to see him interact with things, and like, he is a horny ass young adults. Like, you know, you and I are currently fucking there. We understand that mindset, and like maybe we think some stupid shit about girls to ourselves when, you know, when we don't have to fucking say it in public, but you get to fucking hear all that, and like as a viewer it's kind of like, that's weird, bro, you know?
Yeah, and like I've heard, like, to the point of which he is just a fucking prick. Yeah, like, I've heard that he is like he is such, like, 'cause at least with us we would have the wherewithal to fucking not be a prick to women, right? Not be a prick to anyone. Just be nice, be a good person. Yeah. And from what I heard, this guy is just a selfish cunt. Yes. And he, as soon as he sees something that he's just like, oh yes, I can do this. This is my advantage. Ha ha ha. And he's a complete twat from what I've heard. So
yes, it's very hard to get behind him as a main character. Very hard to root for the guy because, you know. Well,
you know, if he was just a good guy, I'm pretty sure the show would have already ended. He would have gotten with one of them already.
Yeah,
who
right.
knows? He would have been genuine, and maybe something.
I mean, I'm not saying he has to be a perfect character. Obviously, not for us to get behind him as the main character. But it's so hard to like root for the guy with very obvious signs of Mizuhara falling in love with him, and the other chick Ruka, and the other one, I forget the other two's names. One of them everyone hates. His Kazuya's only ex-girlfriend, who like is appearing for whatever reason. I don't know. She's kind of iffy on that one. But I mean, you know, it's a show, certainly.
It's a show.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, hopefully it gets better. I've been told to read the manga by one of the guys in the AniPokeTubers server, and we'll see how far. I've read like a couple chapters. We'll see how far I get.
Yeah, I definitely want to.
Well, since I'm caught up with Eden Zero now, I can probably start reading other shit. So,
fair enough.
Yeah. All right.
What do you want next?
Give me, Spice and Wolf.
Spice and Wolf.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I've rewatched Spice and Wolf a surprising amount of times. Because, alright, let's fucking go. Alright, where's my timer, bitch? Alright, there it is. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Economics and furries. That's how I would essentially summarize it. Essentially, this is not like any other fantasy show you've seen. It is based in a fantasy setting, yes, but it's all about economics. It's all about this one guy, Kraft, looking to go around, sell stuff, and make money. And he so happens to come across this fucking fox god who's in the form of a young girl. And Holo, she is a fucking wonderful, amazingly written character. Like, she's a bit snotty and she's a bit like uptight, but she's also really sweet and really genuine. It's really easy to get into these two as compelling characters. They're really, really well written, the two of them. The side cast is all phenomenal as well. And it is a little bit of a slow burner show. It will take you some time to get into it, but if you are able to get into it, you will like basically think get into the characters more than anything else. Plot itself is based on economics, but the characters themselves are wonderful to witness alongside that.
Is that all she wrote?
Yeah. So what?
Oh, is that it? Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right.
Didn't you hear the timer?
Economics. No, I didn't hear it.
Okay, yeah, no, economics. It's really, it's bizarre. It's, again, okay, you know the same guy I watched, like, I mentioned the guy I watched Rosario Vampire with as the first anime, as our first anime. He also watched Spice and Wolf by himself, and he said he was that bored that he couldn't continue it. Which, I mean, fair enough. If you're used to the fast-paced, fast-action type shows, and you're not willing to take the time to get into a bit of a slower show, then fair enough, this won't be for you. But I decided, like, I didn't even think it was boring at all, because the characters are written so well, and their interactions are done so well, that it kept me intrigued. So I was never really bored throughout the entire thing. I was there for Kraft and Holo. They were two amazingly written characters, because The thing, it's not really important. The whole reason Holo travels with Craft is because she needs to essentially get across the country back to her homeland. And the quickest way to do that is just by traveling, but she's not used to their modern world, as in he has a fucking carriage. So she's not used to it and decides to go with him because she brings good luck. Because everyone in this world obeys the fox goddess, which is her. So she brings good fortune, and he says that he starts off thinking, all right, well, if she brings good fortune and I'm going past where she lives, I may as well bring her with me. She might make me some money. And then by the end of season 1, like a little bit of a spoiler, there's one point near the end of the first season where they have the opportunity to split up, but still do what they want to do individually, as in Holo still wants to go home and she can get there without him, and she offers to do so. But he says, you know what, no, I actually want you to stay around because I like you as a friend. And they actually stick together, and it's really, really heartfelt and sweet. So Spice and Wolf, it is one of those shows where it did extremely well. Both seasons did very well. The OVAs are nothing to write about. They're just crap. But
sure,
the 2 seasons did extremely well. The the light novel, sorry, it was initially a light novel. The light novel has finished, and the light novel's now got a sequel as well. I won't say much more about the sequel because it will spoil stuff.
Sure.
But the light novel has, like, the original series finished, and there's enough content to warrant a season 3. And a lot of people have been clamoring and asking for a season 3, but for some reason they haven't made it. Even though it didn't bomb, it did extremely well, and there's enough content to make it. But it's just one of those shows that never got, like, that's never been continued, even though it's in a prime position to be continued, and they just haven't done it, which is upsetting.
That's rough.
Like, it is highly unfortunate. Spice and Wolf is, like, genuinely sweet, genuinely well written, and, like, hell, like, you learn a bit about economics, which isn't a bad thing. So,
I guess not.
Yeah, so again, check it out. That's definitely something I'd recommend. If you're alright with a little bit of a slower show, then check out Spice and Wolf. And, like, there isn't to say it isn't lacking in action. There is a little bit of action here, a little fight here and there, but nothing overly fancy. Like, they don't get giant fucking weapons. It's literally some guy with a dagger. But there's enough in there. There's heaps in there to keep you compelled, and the characters primarily. So, yeah. All right.
Shit.
There you go. I genuinely, like, really, really like Spice and Wolf.
There you go.
It's very, very good.
Hell yeah. All right.
Let's
give me one.
Continue along. I don't know. I don't know what Luck and Logic is about. Let's go for Luck and Logic.
Luck and Logic. All right. I'm on a roll of overly, probably mostly negative reviews. Not to spoil anything. Anyway. All right. Luck and Logic. Okay, let me just make sure I remember everything. Oh wait, there's nothing to remember. 3, 2, 1. So I started Luck and Logic because Nate Wants to Battle would not shut the fuck up about it in 2016. He put it in, like, all of his songs because he voiced the main character. And I watched it in the dub to hear Nate voice the main guy. Guess what? Luck and Logic makes no goddamn sense. And I'm pretty sure even the voice actors don't know what's going on. Like, it's fucking stupid. Never in my life have I been so confused about a world's rules. There are no rules. It just, like, says these things as if we understand them, and there's no rules or anything about the magic or whatever, like the rules of the bonding thing that they use. Like, why does this hot chick need to pair up with Yoshitsuka? Why does it matter? Who needs that shit? Why? Who are you? Who are these girls? Who is anyone? What's an overdrive? I don't fucking know. It doesn't set up fucking anything. It's the worst. The dialogue is not even smooth at all. I don't care about any of the characters. I only know the main guy's name because Nate did it.
Wow. Damn.
It's not like it's a bad show per se, right? It's like enjoyable if you let it be, I guess. But I just do not understand anything. I don't get it. I don't fucking know what anything is in this show. It's just like, it starts off with this guy, and he like did this thing, and it was bad. It was on the news or something. He's like, "Whoa, my stunt went viral," and because he overdrived at some point. This guy's like 17 or something, Yoshitsuka. And fucking, he's like a retired war veteran or something at like 17 years old. And he has a little sister and a dad, and he eventually gets recruited by the government. He gets recruited by the government to be like, "Okay, we need your help with something, with clearing out something." I forget their names, but there's like some kind of bad things that comes from another world, and they're like demons or some shit, I don't know. But like, the government basically recruits him, and he gets thrown into like a fucking team with 3 other chicks. And then also there's this other chick named Athena who's like, "Hey, Yoshitsuka, let's kiss or something and make a pact, make a promise or whatever the fuck, I don't know, make a bond." And she's here now, and all the other girls also have other hot chicks who are like their bonded friend, and that's it. That's like the whole show. And then eventually at the very end, Yoshitsuka overdrives again. I don't even care if I'm spoiling. He overdrives again. Oh wow, it came full circle because he overdrived before the actual story started. He came full circle. He did it again. But like, what is anything?
The thing that I just can't get over is that the only reason you watched it is because Nate would not shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah.
Because he voices the main
that's
character.
All logic, don't need luck to see the end. Don't look before you take a fall, who knows? You know what I mean?
Oh, that song. Yeah, no, that song is fucking great, though. I do like that song.
I know, but that's all logic, don't need luck to see the end. That's referencing Luck and Logic, because he fucking did the voice.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
He literally... No! So
yes.
He literally just references the show in one of his original songs.
Yes.
Because he voiced the main character. Okay, Nate, seriously, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to... What is that? Why?
But that's all logic, don't need luck to see the end. Shut up, bro. Shut up.
Wow. Alright, fuck. Damn, that's not what I was expecting.
There you go.
Jesus. Well, I definitely do not want to check it out. Like, I kind of do to see how trashy it is, and for Nate's voice acting. I do.
It's not even remotely impressive, and I don't even necessarily think that's Nate's fault. I think the character is just completely unimpressive.
Fair.
So I don't even necessarily think it's his fault. I don't think Nate did a bad job. It's definitely not the best voice acting I've heard by a long shot, but it's, you know, it's Nate, and he fits the role, so he's not bad. He's just not great.
Fair enough.
But it's only on Funimation, so you need to have, like, Funimation Premium or whatever the fuck to hear it.
No, well, fuck that. Suck my dick.
Yeah.
No. I'm
there you go.
Getting another streaming service. Alright, awesome. Alright, what do you want next?
Give me Vampire Knight.
Vampire Knight. This was funny, actually. My, the same friend, funnily enough, I told him about this ages ago, and he didn't sound interested in it.
Sure.
And he finally watched it earlier this year. This is going to be a spoiler, but the only thing he said is, "Why did they introduce incest?"
Damn. Yikes.
Okay. 60 seconds. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Depression. Essentially, yes. There's these characters, they all go to school. This one chick, Yuki, she has some guy who's, like, he knows this guy, he raised with this guy who's got white hair and his name is Zero, so you can tell he's depressed. He, is secretly a vampire. There's this world of this, they're in this fucking high school for some reason, and they, the high school was split between humans and vampires. There's 2 different dorms. Vampires can only come out at night to go to their classes. Everyone loves the vampires because they're really attractive and sparkly, like Twilight, but it's actually really fucking... It's like a really oddly built show because like the plot's just like trying to be funny and then trying to be serious. Like one episode there's just like, oh ha ha, we're so cute, and the next episode is like, oh no, Zero, don't be a twat. Oh no, he's gonna shoot someone. He has a gun for some reason. I think they have weapons because in case the vampires do go crazy. But then why the fuck would you even have a school with vampires and humans if the vampires could go crazy? So why would these two people need guns? Makes fuck all sense, and incest happens.
Oh.
You don't know when the incest happened. Well, actually, no. There's like two different paths where incest could happen. It's really fucking. Yeah. Look, I am on the fence about Vampire Night. I am on the fence about whether I actually enjoyed it or whether, like, there were a few parts that were okay, and then the rest of it was just kind of like, why? Like, why does this need to happen? It's... Imagine, like, everything I said about Sarah for the End, but worse, and definitely catered towards a female audience. It's 110%. Like, the main character is Yuki, who's a chick, yeah, obviously Yuki, and she's kind of the self-insert for women. It's an interesting twist on what you normally expect.
Yeah.
It's not like a harem show or everything. She does have her own personality, but it's like that the main female character that's super fucking emotional and like is really like like I swear to God, you need a counter for the amount of times she says Zero. Oh no. Oh, like she says Zero's name while thinking about him or something like that. You need a counter. It's cringe at times, but like because of how lighthearted they try to display Yuki as, and then how serious Zero is, those two have a good dynamic.
Okay.
Because of the like whole opposite personalities attract thing.
Sure.
And I'll be honest, there was one part of the show which I did genuinely like, which I kind of used as an inspiration for something of my original draft in The Protector. It was just this one scene. Shut the fuck up.
That was probably
emails. No, that was my email. You logged into...
Yeah, I know. That was probably me. That's what I said.
Yeah, no, it's fine. The one scene which was genuinely sweet was that, little bit of a spoiler. So there's like a flashback to when Yuki and her adoptive father, who's the principal of the school, when the guy brings Zero back to their home, and they meet for the first time. They're like 7 or 8. They're children, sure. And the only thing he does is that Yuki runs a bath for Zero or something like that. Like she offers to take care of him because she's just a nice person, even though they're kids. But then she sees the blood all over Zero because he and his family were attacked by vampires, and like that scene of them as kids, like it kind of establishes it does establish their origins well, but then seeing them being raised with all that knowledge ahead of time, it gives you an idea and a better understanding of what these two are like. Oh, we're like brother and sister, but then it's just like, oh, but we might actually love each other. We don't know yet. And then there's actual kind of incest later, which is really... I kind of want to just say it, but it's also a massive spoiler.
I don't
There's
care.
also the... Are you gonna watch it?
No.
Good. Alright, spoilers. Skip ahead like 1 minute if you don't want to hear the spoiler. Zero obviously is a vampire because, like, his family, quote-unquote, died and was attacked by a vampire. One of the main plot points is that they have to find this vampire and kill it. The one that killed Zero and the one that killed Zero's family. Now, then, for some reason, it's revealed that Yuki is also a vampire, but her powers and her teeth and everything that would signal her to be a vampire is somehow locked away. and there's no real explanation of how her vampire-ness is locked away. The other main vampire is like the head of the dorms in the vampire dorm. His name is Kaname, and everyone loves him. And he was the one that found Yuki or something like that. He helped Yuki when she was a kid. And he, obviously, him being the head vampire, he's like, oh, I like this one. This Yuki, I like this one. And he treats her as, like, special, like, he treats her a bit more special compared to other people. And, like, everyone, even all the vampires, love Kaname just because he's got raw bloodline or whatever. But then, it's revealed near the end of Season 2 that even though Kaname and Yuki love each other, Kaname reveals that they are siblings.
Oh.
And it's like, wait, what? They're siblings? And then, literally, I remember, it was this 1 30-second scene where Yuki stands in front of Kaname blocking him from Zero, because Zero and Kaname hate each other, obviously. And she says, Zero, you can't kill him because he's my brother. Zero's like, what? Then she falls unconscious, catches her. All the other vampires are standing around, like, confused as fuck, like, they're siblings. And all he says, what? It's natural for siblings to be in a relationship with each other for vampires because we have to keep the bloodline strong. And it's just like, bro,
okay,
what the fuck? What is this?
All right,
this is fucking bizarre. Like, what?
That is definitely something.
Yeah. The other incest thing was that it turns out that Zero had a younger brother that he thought died when the vampire attacked, but it turns out that vampire just kept him as like a pet, and then he comes back later. So Zero and his brother are like, they're kind of like twins, but they're kind of not, and then they're kind of gay for each other, and it's kind of really fucking bizarre. You can tell this was written. You can tell this is definitely for a female audience. Yeah, I've been on the fence about the show for a long time, because it has a lot of good points. It has a lot of, like, strong story beats, and it has a lot of good plot elements involved with it. It's just the premise and the execution, and then the whole, they're all depressed and they all say each other's names 100 times every episode, thinking about each other and talking about their history and all that. Then they repeat everything 100 times because of how emotional it is. Like, I just kind of want to shoot myself in the foot just to give me a reason to go away from the show.
Sure.
So, yeah, I don't recommend you to watch this one, actually. Like,
I wasn't planning on
I think the manga got a continuation and it's focused elsewhere. I don't recall, but I heard that other sources treat this a bit better and it's paced a bit better. And yeah, there's so many aspects that I know I'm missing, but as a whole, it's kind of like, look, if you want, like, actually, I don't even know what you would be looking for if you go into this. If you want Twilight as an anime, there you go. Vampire Night. That's where you want. That's where you go. Right.
I've never seen Twilight, so I'm not gonna watch that.
No, don't. So I've watched the anime equivalent of Twilight, and I just don't know.
Yep.
I just don't know.
All right, let's do one more each.
One more each.
Or I'll do. Okay. I might do a quick fire round because some of these I will not care to talk about past like 2 minutes.
Well, I reckon we could probably clear this out.
Well, here, just give me. I'll do one more to talk about for a bit, or depends on. Well, okay,
you've talked about Nisekoi and the Asterix War before, so
okay, I have. Then
I don't know. Let's fucking go for something different. Let's go for, I don't know, Grimgar, Ashes and Illusion.
Okay, this is one that I'll talk about for like 2 seconds. Well, not that long, but.
Okay, actually, how about we both do a quick fire round? Because I have one in this list as well, which is going to be very quick fire.
Okay, well then, yeah, I'll talk I've talked about Nisekoi and the Asset Score enough, I think. Good call. I'm going to start with Grimgar and then go to move to the left. All right. 3, 2, 1. So, remember how I said Angel Beats had no direction? Yeah, this is the king. Grimgar is the fucking king of no direction. This show kind of presents you with this set of characters which are inherently pretty likable because they've been thrown into a new fantasy world all with amnesia. So they don't know shit about what's going on or what happened previously in their lives, but they have to now make a living as volunteer soldiers in order to survive. And it's a group of 6, 4 guys and 2 girls. And basically imagine, I feel like this show was sold completely on the one shot of Yume's ass, which is the red-haired chick, and because that's what made me watch it. I'm not gonna tell a lie, but the show just had no direction. Some dude never mind, I can't say that. But basically, there's no direction. There's a lot of talking and emotions. The dialogue is okay, the writing's fine, but there's no direction, and it feels like you're just going nowhere most of the show. Grimgar is it's fine, it's enjoyable if you let it be, but I didn't really care too much. The characters are pretty well written and voiced. It's just, there's just literally zero direction in it. It doesn't feel like there's any end goal. And if you just like watching 6 people and this one chick with a relatively nice ass, and the one girl with a nice ass, and then the other one with huge tits, and then the other 4 other guys. Try to slay goblins for 2 episodes, and then finally managing to slay one at the very end of the 2nd episode. And then slaying goblins for 8 more episodes. You might enjoy this. Other than that,
I'd rather watch Goblin Slayer.
Yeah, no, it's enjoyable. It's fine. It's acceptable. The art style is interesting, I'll give it that much. But it does, the characters feel pretty down to earth, so the characters are nice, feel grounded, they all know each other pretty well, which is cool, but character's the best part of that show.
Yeah.
Gonna go into Rail Wars now.
Hold on, I am gonna do the quick fire.
No, I said quick fire, which means we have to do a bunch in a row.
Okay, fair enough.
Rail
I've
Wars.
only got one for the quick fire. Got one for the quick fire.
Rail Wars, 3, 2, 1. So, trains. You know that meme from 2000 is I like trains, and then you get run over by a train? That's this show. It's basically about this guy who wants to be a train conductor, and he basically gets thrown into railroad security instead. And he meets this one other guy who's a airheaded idiot, so he's kind of there just to have another guy. But then there's a bunch of hot girls all everywhere. The team commander's a hot girl, the other 2 girls are hot girls. There's hot girls everywhere, but there's also trains everywhere. And basically this show is really cute. It's quite charming in how simple it is. It doesn't try to be anything other than exactly what it is. It's a show about hot girls and trains. And it's nice, there's some harem fodder in there, titty grabbing, but overall it's fairly charming. The writing's not bad, and trains are pretty dope, and you get to see him drive a train twice, so that's cool. There you go.
This is the amount of times you talked about trains.
It is a show about trains.
I know, but it was just, I don't know why, it was just so funny. You just kept saying trains.
Trains.
I don't know why it was so funny. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. Alright, look. I should be able to cover this one show in not even 30 seconds.
Okay, have fun.
I'll put the timer on. Demon King Diamo, 3, 2, 1. Trinity 7, but worse. Essentially, high school, magical high school. Demon King candidate goes there, meets a fucking harem. They all have weapons. Magical system that doesn't make sense. Yeah.
All right.
And a good opening song as well. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm not even gonna go even further than that. That upon watching Trinity 7 and then attempting to rewatch Demon King Diamo, and I just realized this is the same shit, but Demon King Diamo's worse. It has less appealing character designs for each of the characters. and like even more annoying lollies, and yeah, like, and just an even less interesting plot that doesn't go anywhere. So yeah, Demon King Diamo, it's not fucking worth it. Just watch Trinity 7.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Rail.
All right, so
and Rail Wars has this nice insert song. I don't remember what it's called, but there's some chick that like performs. But yeah, Rail Wars is cute. If you just want something to watch, like casually, relaxed, Rail Wars is very nice.
I reckon let's both do one. I reckon let's both do one more because we're just past an hour. I reckon you do Seikano.
Yes, I really enjoyed Seikano, so I'll
now do you want me to do Codebreaker or High School of the Dead?
Do Codebreaker because I'm gonna watch High School of the Dead like any second now.
All right, sounds good. All right, you do Seikano.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. So Seikano is also called How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend. It's basically about a show where this team of game developers make a dating sim game that is eventually kind of leaks over into the real world, the real life world of the anime. And basically a lot of they basically end up creating, there's a review on Amazon about it. It's the anime about creating a dating sim, which is actually just the anime you're watching. The dating sim, the game they make is just the anime you're watching. It's one of the best written slice of life harem shows ever, maybe. The writing is fucking awesome. The progression of the story makes so much sense, and like there's literally nothing wrong with a show, I don't think. Like I don't think I could complain about a single thing other than maybe some of the harem fodder being obnoxious. Like that's literally it. The voice acting is perfect. The fucking writing is awesome and doesn't miss a beat. It's funny. It's just a great show. The characters are fantastic. It's just awesome. Great show. But I mean, okay, so Seikano has 2 seasons and a movie. They're all really good. The OVAs are like whatever, hot tubs, I guess, whatever, like fucking hot springs. Cool. But like this show is probably the best slice of life harem show I've ever seen. It's just awesome. Like the writing it literally does not miss a beat. It's funny. You get to see like every side of all the characters. There's just so much to like about the show aside from the hot girls. There's like, characters. That's a good change of pace. Yes. There's so much. Yeah, there's a lot to like about this show. It's like all the characters and their like motivations make sense. Like they all want to make this game, and like, it progresses from there, obviously. Like, there's more to it than, like, once they're done making that game, like, it progresses from there. But, it's very cute. It's very charming. Like, I don't know if I could name a better slice of life harem show. Maybe, like, We Never Learn, Bokuben, that's up there, but I don't think it's as good as this one. Like, I mean, if you want, like, a relaxed slice of life, Bokuben, I think is your best choice. But if you want one that's, like, all about like the story and the character motivations and continuity, like this is that one. This is it's a great experience all the way through. Like the main character I think is like one of my favorite main characters like ever. He's just a really fucking awesome funny guy, and he's voiced by the same guy who does fucking everybody in harem, like the main character in like 86 harem shows. He's Kirito, he's Soma, Yukihira, he's fucking, all those other guys.
That guy.
But he did a great job. He really brought that main character to life. And if that main character wasn't as well written and well performed as he was, the show would have probably been a bust. Like, it just was so much fun to watch him like interact with all the characters. Like, I don't even know what to complain about. Even the hot tub, like the hot spring scenes, were not even bad. It wasn't just titties, ooh, but it was more than that. There was like actual progression being made and like characters interacting with each other in like a somewhat meaningful way. So there you go. I really enjoyed that one. Very good. I watched all of it, all the movie and shit. Oh, great stuff. Watch it basically.
Nice.
But it's on like Amazon or something. I don't know. It's hard to find.
Yeah. Alright. Legendary.
Yeah.
Alright, and I'm doing Codebreaker. All I want to say about High School of the Dead is, because I have talked about High School of the Dead before, probably in the anime episode, I fucking love High School of the Dead. It is really, really good, especially and like there's not a lot of like zombie apocalypse animes that are genuinely can be terrifying and also really, really big titties. Again, really, really appealing in that regard at the same time. It's really difficult to balance that, but I feel like High School of the Dead did it really well. It's a shame it will not continue. Sad days, RIP, and sadness. But yeah, High School of the Dead is a must-watch, in my opinion, if for anything. So, alright. Codebreaker. Alright. 3, 2, 1, go. The premise of Codebreaker is essentially that there is this little government organization of people called Codebreakers. No, they're not Chris Jericho's signature move. It's a group of people that all have unique powers that are able to... Essentially, they're assassins. One of these Codebreakers, Ray, he meets up with a chick named Sakura because they attend the same school. Sakura is just like the ideal woman in the school, and everyone loves her. And she basically discovers that Ray has this power, and he kills people, and the whole premise, Codebreakers have like a ranking list of how strong they are, and one of the strongest Codebreakers went rogue and is now just doing a bunch of shit, and Ray promises to fucking take him out, and he said, if I have to be evil to fucking end all evil, then I will be evil. And then Sakura, who's essentially just there, she's only there to basically be like, no, don't be evil, I love you, don't be evil, mwah. And then yeah, Codebreaker shenanigans happen, and
damn,
yeah, it's really hard to summarize Codebreaker. It's a good idea. Like episode 1 sets up the premise really well. Episode 2 leans into it. Like it starts to reveal more of what's going to happen, and then it just kind of like meanders about a little bit, and then like there's just one part in the middle of the show where it just becomes dark as fuck. Like there's literally like this experiment on dead children, and then they just happen upon it, and it's just like, where did this come from? What is this about? Why does this need to be here? And like Sakura, even though initially it seems like she's just there because she's like one of the few chicks of the show, she's just there to be like, oh look, she's cool and all that. She is quite nice. She's a good character, but like you kind of feel like there's no real reason for her to be there until it's revealed that she can like help, because the Codebreakers don't really work together a lot of the time, but she and her nice personality and all that, she's able to get all the Codebreakers to work together against an even more serious threat. And I think she has the power. I think I forgot. I might be imagining this. She might have the power to stop Ray's power, which he just summons blue fire.
Mm.
But I think she can somehow stop that, maybe, or she has something to like stop Codebreaker powers. I don't remember exactly. It's been a long time. But the show has interesting concepts, and I feel like a lot could have been done to make it better. There is a lot of like the plot itself is not really revealed about the whole, one of the Codebreakers is Rogue and he's the most powerful. That isn't really revealed till later on, and then that becomes the main aspect of the show, and it's really quite odd the way it's paced, but like again, it's much better than say Demon King Diamo, or much better than say Vampire Knight. But it's still very confusing at points, and a lot could have been done to execute it better. So I mean, I'd still recommend it purely because the characters themselves, like, even though, like, yeah, a few of them start off being one note, the characters themselves actually do grow and develop in quite a substantial way. It's just the plot in which they're used is a bit shit. So I'd recommend to watch it just for the characters.
Sure.
But the story, there's a lot to be desired. So yeah.
Fair. Yep. Yeah, that was everything we had on our lists.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure, give us a little bit of time, we will be able to definitely come up with more.
Yeah.
I could easily go back through and watch more, or check out some more. But we also kind of did this as like a thing for ourselves, that like, what shows have we both, what shows have one of us seen and the other one hasn't, and we kind of like took that into consideration as well, because like I only saw a few episodes of Violet Evergarden and nothing of anything else.
Well, I just kind of wrote down. I know like a few of them you hadn't watched, but like a lot of that I wrote down just because it was recent and I knew I would remember it all. Yeah, because I was like, if I go too far back, I'll probably end up forgetting shit. But I'm gonna watch a ton more, so like I'm constantly watching shit. Pretty much at this point, like whenever I'm like not doing anything, I'm like, oh, I'll put on an anime. Which is more often than you might guess. But, so that's kind of the idea. So I'll definitely have, like, a bunch more that I can go through, in very soon times. So, yeah, we'll definitely do another one of these.
Yeah, no, definitely. I reckon it'll be easy for me to grab a few more shows, or at least watch a few more shows between now and then. One thing... I do like this idea, and I feel like we will be able to fucking nail a few more. If you want to see another episode of 60-second anime reviews, let us know. Let us know if we mention one of your favorite shows. Give us your opinions on some of the shows if you wish. We're more than happy to hear you out. And I know both of us would have missed at least some probably relevant information that would have been a little bit succinct, but it's hard to nail that down in 60 seconds. So we probably did the best we could. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode, this original episode. Oh my god, a normal episode of the FireStorm podcast.
Whoa.
We're doing a lot of gameplay things, if you haven't already noticed. By the time this comes out, because I'm going to release, at the time of recording, I'm releasing this the week after the second episode of Honey Pop 2.
Okay.
So, you should probably be seeing the final episode of Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess coming this weekend.
Yeah!
So, that will be wonderful. And immediately the week after, we'll be beginning... we have scheduled the beginning of Skyward Sword.
Yes.
So, subscribe if you want to check out our Legend of Zelda playthroughs. Yes, as mentioned, we are also playing Honey Pop 2.
Hope you're not tired of that yet.
Yeah, no, we're going to be continuing with that, with titty action and whatnot.
Let's go.
And we are nearing 50 episodes of the regularly scheduled FireStorm podcast.
Yep.
We're trying to do something like episode 40, but better. With like better cameras, like with our actual cameras and all that. We're trying to do something like that, but better. Because coming up ahead, like we are gonna do, for the normal episodes, we're gonna do like ReZero Season 2 Part 2,
which has been killing it, by the way.
It has been killing it. It has been fucking amazing. Yeah. We're probably also going to do Evanescence's new album, A Bitter Taste, which is meant to come out at the end of March.
Nice. I'm in for that.
So that probably something else, and then we'll be up to episode 50. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. We're also I was checking through our podcast channel, and it's been like 8 months since we've had a guest on, and purely that is because of COVID.
Yeah.
Like literally, we got like Gus. Our last guest was Link Barnett, and we got him on because of COVID and the fact there was no wrestling happening.
Yeah.
And he was interested in just doing something. So
having a little interview.
I'm
gonna reach out to some of my friends, because Trent's gotten most of our guests so far, but I have some friends now in like the Antipoke 2verse server who I'm sure might be willing to come on the podcast. So I'm just gonna reach out to them. Mark my words here. I'm gonna start talking to Zach, because Lumio's trainer Zach, who is a big name in the Antipoke community. I want him to do rapping on a song for me, so I'm gonna reach out to him about that. And if that goes well, then Assuming he says yes, of course. Then hopefully he'll come on the podcast because Zach is really, really cool. So,
nice.
So Zach probably be on the lookout for a Skyward Sword guest. About halfway through the playthrough.
Yes.
Got one of my friends coming on for that. Yeah. So, but we're gonna try to get more guests on. I don't know. It's kind of hard to figure out who would be willing to like just come hang out with us, for like an hour or two. But we'll figure out stuff. We'll figure out something. So yeah. And since we have so much scheduled now, we'll be able to just upload this, get a guest on and be upload them whenever,
Because we have so much gaming on, it is kind of difficult to because our normal schedule when we were doing this a lot more consistently was every Wednesday.
Yeah.
And now we've switched gaming up to Saturday, but now we're doing 2 gaming series at the same time. So it's kind of balancing it out is a bit odd. We'll probably just do special guest episodes if we do get another one. Yeah, you're right. Just release it whenever.
Yeah.
We'll stick with Legend of Zelda on Saturdays, regular episodes or Honey Pop or whatever on Wednesdays, and we'll see how things are leading ahead. But we've got a lot of ideas. We've got a lot coming on. I think we're actually out of the rut now, probably thanks to our gaming series.
Yeah,
we're out of the rut. And we hope you have enjoyed everything we've been making so far. And thank you all so much for watching, guys. Let's follow our Twitters. Gus at Silverstorm100, myself at TrentJam27. Let us know what some anime you like are in the comments down below. Or
hopefully you don't like Look and Logic.
Suggestions. Hopefully you don't like Look and Logic.
Sorry.
Or if you have any questions or suggestions, leave them in the comments as well, or email us at firestormproductions2@gmail.com. And that's about all, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Follow our actual Twitter at FireStormPod.
Yeah.
And my Twitter at TrentJam27. Because FireStorm Pod has dick jokes galore.
Hell yeah.
And clips, which is fun. Alright. That's all, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.